Good morning, students. Our today's topic for discussion is measurement of pH. Okay, in the last class we discussed about the pH, about its importance, and also in the previous class we also mentioned about the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Okay, today let's see the measurement of pH. Before going to it, let's see the uses of Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. I just forgot to mention this in the last class. So these are the uses of Henderson-Hasselbalch equation to find out the pKa of an acid if the pH of the buffer and the concentration of salt and acids are known. Okay, so first point is to find out the pKa of an acid if we know the pH and concentration of salt and acid. Next one is to find out the relative concentration of salt and acid for getting the buffer or specific pH, pKa being known, and to assess the acid-base status of a patient. And the fourth point is to predict the limits of compensation in a patient with imbalance. Okay, to predict the limit of compensation in a patient with imbalance. So these are the uses of Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Which all are they? To find out the pKa of an acid, to find the relative concentration of salt and acid, to assess the acid-base status of a patient, and also to predict the limit of compensation in a patient with imbalance, which is the limit of compensation limit in a patient with imbalance. Okay, so now let's continue the topic on measurement of pH. In this we will discuss about the importance of pH and also about the methods for the measurement of pH. Okay, first about the importance. The importance of measurement of pH is that we should know the pH of the blood, urine and other body fluids. And also to prepare the buffers of specific pH for laboratory use. These are the most important things why we need the measurement of pH. To know the pH of blood, urine and other body fluids, and also to prepare buffers of specific pH for laboratory use. Okay. The importance of pH in our body is that some of the enzymes in our body works at an optimum pH. For example, the pepsin is an enzyme that works at an optimum pH of about 1 to 2. And alkaline phosphatase is another enzyme whose optimum pH is 9 to 10. So these enzymes will be active only in this pH, in the optimum pH. For the pepsin it is 1 to 2 and alkaline phosphatase it is 9 to 10. And the second point is that the conformation of enzymes, proteins, DNA and other biomolecules is influenced by pH. Okay, this conformation of the enzymes, proteins and all are also influenced by the pH. So these are the importance of pH in our body. The enzymes have an optimum pH and also the conformation of the enzymes, proteins and DNA and other biomolecules is influenced by pH. So see this graph here. On the x-axis the pH is written and you can see that at the particular pH of about 1 to 2 the pepsin is more active. The pepsin is active. See this. The pepsin is active. And at the pH of about 9 the alkaline phosphatase is active. And the trypsin is active at the pH of about 6 to 7. Okay, so these enzymes has got a particular pH in which their function will be maximum. The normal pH of body fluids are for the plasma we all know that it is about 7.3 to 7.4. Okay, for the CSF also it is same as that of the plasma. And the urine the pH can range from 4.8 to 8. In gastric juice it is acidic pH, that is 1 to 3. For the bile it is 6.9 to 8.6. Pancreatic juice is alkaline, it is about 7.1 to 8.4. Intestinal juice is 6.4 to 9.1 and intracellular fluid is 6 to 7.1. Okay, of this don't forget the pH of plasma, it is 7.38 to 7.42. Okay. But here till now we discussed about the importance of pH. So why we should know the pH? Okay, what is the importance of measuring pH? Okay, so next, what are the methods for the measurement of pH? The methods are indicators, pH papers, pH disc, and also pH meter. There are 4 methods for the measurement of pH. These are, one is indicators, then pH papers, pH disc, and pH meter. Okay. First about the indicators. The indicators are dyes, and these dyes can determine the hydrogen ions in a solution. Okay, these indicators are the substances which change color with variation in pH of the solution. They are usually weak acids. Okay, but certain dyes can determine the hydrogen ions in a solution, and these substances will change their color with variation in pH of the solution, and these are usually weak acids. Indicators are usually weak acids, and they are undissociated in acid solution. When we add this indicator to an acid solution, they are usually undissociated and gives its acid color. But in the presence of a dilute alkali, it will form salt with this alkali, and which will then dissociate freely and display alkaline color. Okay. So, I told that the indicators are usually weak acids, and in the presence of an acidic solution, they are undissociated and gives the acid color. But in the case of a dilute alkali, they will react with it and form salt, which will dissociate freely and display the alkaline color. Examples are thymol blue, bromocresol green, and chlorophenol red. Okay, so first one is indicators. First method for the measurement of pH is indicators. They are usually weak acids, and in the acidic solution they are undissociated and give the acid color, and in the presence of dilute alkali they form salt, which will then dissociate and gives the alkaline color. Just remember this indicators, names of these indicators, that is thymol blue, bromocresol green, and chlorophenol red. Next, about the pH papers. The pH papers are similar to that of indicators, and here the color developed is compared with the standard color provided with the paper. Okay, these are the strips of the pH papers, and when we dip this pH paper in solution, it will show some color, and compare this color with the color patterns that is given, that is standard colors provided with the paper. Okay, compare it with the colors provided with the paper. So that is about the pH paper. Next, about the pH disc. Here the solution is treated with indicator, and the color developed is compared with that of the colored glass pieces arranged on a disc. Okay, this is a pH disc. Here the solution is treated with indicator, and the color developed is compared with that of colored glass pieces arranged on a disc. So this is a pH disc, and the color developed is compared with the color pattern on this disc, and thus note the pH. Okay. Next, about the pH meter. About the pH meter we will discuss in the next session. So far what we discussed the importance of measuring pH in our body, and also why we have to measure this pH, and what are the methods for the measurement of pH. Which all are the methods for the measurement of pH? These are indicators, then pH paper, pH disc, and pH meter. We discussed about pH indicators, pH paper, and pH disc. In the next session we will discuss about the pH meter. Okay, also don't forget to see the uses of Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Okay, thank you.